Hey, this is Greg Milby, Kentucky's Heartland and Kentucky'sHeartland.com, sharing the stories, people, and events powering the Heartland. And it is round ball season in the state of Kentucky. And we say round ball, we like college basketball around here, but we like high school basketball. With me is Doug Barnes. We have Kenny Henderson over here, and we're going to talk about a tournament, the Hall of Fame Classic, coming up this weekend. Of course, we have the Kentucky High School Basketball Hall of Fame, which I think is a diamond. It's a gem to have right here in downtown E-Town. But So talk about the Hall of Fame Classic, either one of you. How did this get started, and why is it so important for this area?
Well, it was about a year ago. Ken Trivett, who's the executive director of the Hall of Fame, asked me if I would be a regional director for the 5th region for the Hall of Fame, a position to promote the Hall of Fame, to let it be known that it's here in E-Town, people to come in and see it, go to the schools, make sure they know that what we have here in E-Town with the Hall of Fame. And we talked about the fact that people out in the state really didn't know that much about it. Wasn't that much information for them to see or hear or be a part of. So we thought, well, why not have a one-day extravaganza where we bring in teams from out in the state, use all of our local teams, and have a one-day event where we expose all those kids, their parents, their coaches, to the Hall of Fame. So Ken asked me to come up with a format to let people see the Hall of Fame plus play their game. So we came up with an idea of bringing the teams in, having a one-day schedule where teams will come in, we'll feed them over at TK Stone, let them view that old gymnasium where there's a lot of history there.
It does have it has the Hoosiers effect to it in a way.
It does. And kids these days don't get to see gyms like that. They see these really, really nice places with chair back seats.
Right, that's like a pressure cooker. That's not a gym over there.
There was some games over there. E-Town Catholic, E-Town East Hardin.
I was fortunate enough to play in that gym in high school for Charlie Rollins. And I can remember 1964, we played E-Town Catholic. And by 5 o'clock, the gym was full of people. You couldn't get in. They shut the doors. Yeah. And we didn't play till 7 o'clock. And I can definitely remember that just like it was yesterday. And obviously, we won that ball game.
He wanted to bring that up too. Yeah, he had to throw that one out there.
It was the only. We had the only sold out JV games. I mean, the gym was full for the JV game, and I can vividly. My brother used to be the clock keeper over there, and Kenny knows this. And I can vividly remember a game, and I'm not going to name which school. It's a local school. I'm not going to name who it was. It's a local person. Just beating the snot out of my brother with an umbrella because she thought he was cheating on the clock. It's amazing. It was just. It's the way it used to be.
And it's important that our players today, our kids today, know the way it used to be. They need to know the history, and that's why the Hall of Fame, is so important. And it is important to go and to see the old gym at TK Stone. So they're going to get a chance to kind of see that, tour that a little bit.
And
then what else?
Then they'll go into the TK Stone Auditorium and watch the movie's called 32. It's kind of a history of Kentucky high school basketball. So the kids, after they eat, they'll go in there. They'll watch that video on a big screen in the auditorium. Kind of get an idea about who has come before them, and after that they'll bust down to the Hall of Fame downtown. Them and their parents, fans, whoever's with them, and they can go through the Hall of Fame, as leisurely as they want to, and after that they'll bust to their venue, which the girls are going to be playing at E-Town High School. There'll be 4 girls games. The boys will be playing at Central Hardin High School. There'll be 4 boys games. So after you go through the museum, then you'll bus to your venue. You'll actually be able to watch a part of the game before you, and then you'll play your game, and then head to the house. So.
Kenny, how did you guys select who's playing in this extravaganza? Because I don't want to call it a tournament because it's not.
It's one day shindig.
I can't spell shindig. I can't spell extravaganza. So, but classic. There you go. How were the teams selected?
Well, I'll tell you what. Doug did the legwork on all that, and I just got hired by the Hall of Fame as community director back in March. And so I was learning the ropes of the Hall of Fame and running the museum and keeping it open and giving tours and this kind of thing. But Doug did the lead work on all that. And he could probably answer that question better than I can.
Yeah. Kenny is a guy. Of course, he taught at E-Town. And I've known Kenny all my life. And he's someone that when he came in, after we all had this going, I said, Kenny, I need you to do this. Can you help me out? And of course, Kenny's a guy that's going to jump in and help any way he can. But yeah, we put it out there on the KHSA website and put it out on the internet for teams interested in coming in and having almost a full day, ordeal where they can come in and see the tour of the Hall of Fame and then play their game. And we had plenty of interest, and we ended up with the 8 teams, which is kind of hard to get 8 teams on one day to come to one town. And it worked out with all of our local teams too. So yeah, it was kind of a logistical nightmare there for a while, but it's worked out real well.
So with this Hall of Fame Classic, we've got the Kentucky High School Basketball Hall of Fame, and here we know it's here, and we think it's a gem. It's a crown of our community. How do we help get the word out? Because I know getting folks in to take tours of the museum isn't. We need more people to come in and see it, because it's the history. Right. As some of the players that played years and years ago, as they pass on, their stories pass on with them.
Right.
And there are some great stories. Even before we shot this, this video and this podcast, you and I were talking. I mean, this makes me feel old, but it hasn't. Okay, it has been a while, but it's not that long ago. 1992, we talked about Fairdale High School, where I went to high school, playing your E-Town Panthers.
It was 1990.
1990 that game was. Okay. I remember, matter of fact, I think I still have a T-shirt somewhere from that game, because it was one of the craziest things I remember seeing in high school basketball. It was sold out. I'm surprised there weren't scalpers selling tickets on the corner. But stories about like that game and stories about the Fairdale team that was a crazy team back in the day. How do we help people remember those stories and get those?
I tell you, a lot of that comes from visiting the Hall of Fame. Just for example, Ron Bevers, who's a member of the Hall of Fame and won over 800 games at North Hardin, he's usually down at the Hall of Fame 2 or 3 days a week, and a lot of people come in and they know Ron, or he introduces himself, and he has a lot of stories to tell. And sometimes former players come in and they talk about when they played basketball and what have you. But what we're doing right now is really trying to spread the word throughout Hardin County, Elizabethtown, and the community, promoting the Hall. Just for example, myself and Rick Walters, he's a member of the board of directors representing Elizabethtown. We have gone to both school systems and talked to the administrators and encouraged them to have their teachers, if they need a good educational field trip, we encourage them to come down to the Hall of Fame. And we've spoke to various civic organizations and whatever. So we're doing everything we can to promote the Hall, let everybody know that it's alive and well and we're on the right track, and hopefully it's just going to grow and expand. And we just got through recently hiring a new CEO, and he's very energetic, and he's already been working out through the state and whatever, promoting the Hall. And this is something that hasn't been done in the past especially. And so I'm local. A lot of people know me and remember me as a coach and a teacher and as well as a player. And I'm fortunate to be working down at the Hall of Fame, and I get to meet a lot of people and so forth. And every time I see somebody, I always promote the Hall, ask them to come down, and we'll come down and we'll talk basketball, or somebody bring in old programs that they've had and kept over the years. We got a stack of old programs. And so and we sit down and look at that and just kind of reminisce at times. So that's one way that we're doing it right now. And obviously we're looking for new ways to promote the Hall. And this, what we're doing right now, is one gigantic way to promote the Hall.
All right. And if you listen in the background, you can hear the coffee grinder. That's become the joke lately since we moved to this new building. It's, you always see Superman, I guess, is always prominently displayed in a Seinfeld episode, and then Mickey Mouse is always, there's Little Bitty Mickeys all the way around Disney. The coffee grinder or somebody talking is the new thing in this building, because it's an open building, so it's a lot of fun. So there you go. There was the hidden coffee grinder. So what can we do as a community? Because I know we've got, as folks are in town this weekend to watch these games, how can we encourage them? If we see them out, should we encourage them to come down to the Hall of Fame? Because you got a lot of parents that are going to be there as well.
Right. Come down to the Hall of Fame. Come to the games. I mean, we're involving all the local schools, John, Central, North, E-Town, boys and girls teams. So, it is a genuine community event that is bringing not only our community, but people from outside of our community into the community to let them know about the Hall of Fame and let them know, what's going on down there. So, yeah, we just need people to embrace the fact that all of our youth are going to be involved in this. Mm-hmm. All of our local teams are going to be involved in this. Quite honestly, Kenny and I were talking. If you went to all of the local teams, boys and girls, and polled how many of those kids have been in the Hall of Fame, probably upwards of 80-90% of those kids don't even know it's there. And we want to make sure that, first of all, everyone in our local area knows that like Kenny said, this gym is there, and then to expand that out into the state, to where it can be a destination where you get off of I-65 and say, hey, wait a minute, Kentucky High School Basketball Hall of Fame is there in E-Town. Let's check that out.
Because it's if you like the round ball, you got to visit.
Yeah, you'd be surprised though that since I've been to the Hall of Fame, people from other states that have visited the Hall of Fame have been really impressed with it, because they don't have a basketball Hall of Fame in their state. And we've had several people make positive comments about what a first-class place it is. And it is. If you haven't been in there, you'll be amazed what the first class of that museum, what it really is. And it's got a lot of history to it, and it's good history, especially if you're a basketball junkie like Doug and myself.
Mm-hmm. All right, so if they want to come to the game, Hall of Fame Classic, you've got the schedule over there.
Yes, sir.
Can you run down the schedule of games that we're gonna be able to see on Saturday?
Mm-hmm. The games are going to be 2, 4, 6, and of course immediately following. It could be 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever. Of course, the girls' games are going to be at Central or at E-Town. The first girls' game is going to be at 2 o'clock, and that'll be Boyd County versus Central Hardin girls.
Okay.
All right, and that, like I say, that's at E-Town. 4 o'clock game is Christian County girls versus North Hardin girls. The 6 o'clock game will be the Meade County girls versus John Hardin girls. And the 7:30 to 8 o'clock game, the last game, will be Walton Verona out of Northern Kentucky versus E-Town.
Okay.
Now, over at Central Hardin, the boys' games, the first game there is going to be E-Town. It's going to be E-Town versus Washington County at 2 o'clock. 4 o'clock game will be Christian County boys versus John Hardin boys. 6 o'clock game will be Clinton County versus North Hardin boys. And the last game will be North Bullitt versus Central Hardin. So actually the home team at both of these gyms will play the last game. E-Town girls will play the last game at the E-Town gym. The Central Hardin boys will play the last game at the Central Hardin gym.
See, it's kind of reverted schedule there too. So you can get, if you're an E-Town fan, you can watch both the E-Town games. If you're a Central fan, you can watch both of those.
And the good thing about this is, it's you buy a ticket, and actually you're not going to get a ticket. You'll get a wristband, and your wristband will get you into both E-Town and Central Hardin.
Wow.
So if you're watching the first game at Central Hardin and say you want to go over to E-Town and watch the second game or any of the games, keep your wristband on, you go over to E-Town, watch however many games you want to. So your wristband will get you into both venues all day long for all the games for one price.
What's the ticket price?
Ticket price for adults is $10.
Not bad.
The for students, $5. Preschool free. If you're coming in, you're not in school, you get in free. So
all right.
10 you can watch all of them. 5 you can watch all of them if you're a student. Underage, you get in free.
All right, so the 2019 Hall of Fame Classic happening this weekend, both at E-Town High School and Central Hardin High School. And if you want more information, you can go to Kentucky'sHeartland.com, check on the community calendar for Saturday's date, and that information is there. Plus, you can click on the addresses there, and it'll give you turn-by-turn directions. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
I mean, as if we don't know where those places are.
Yeah.
All right, so Kenny, we want to come down and see the Hall of Fame. How do they get a hold of you? What's the hours?
Okay, the Hall of Fame right now is open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11 to 4. After the first of the year, we're going to go permanent with the Hall of Fame hours on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and the same hours are from 11 to 4. And there'll be somebody always. I'm there at least 3 days a week. Sometimes I'll be there 4 days a week, but I'm there definitely on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And we got some volunteers that come in and help us out as well. So, and the price of admission is $6 for adults. We give military and senior citizens of $5. We charge $5 for them, and students $4.
All right, you can't beat it. Learn all about the history of high school basketball here in the state of Kentucky. He's Doug Barnes. Yes, he is a legend. Kenny Henderson. Yes, he is a legend. I am Greg Milby, and I am not a legend.
You are a legend.
And this is Kentucky's Heartland. Thanks for watching.